let's talk about the thesis statement. This tends to be something that most people will absolutely fret over. However, if you do it correctly, it's actually supposed to be the help that helps you figure out if your essay is cohesive. Because every sentence you add in your essay, you should be able to say, does this support my thesis? If the answer is no, delete that sentence. If the answer is yes, pat yourself on the back and keep going. Okay, so how do we make this thesis statement? Well, after you read your prompt, you should have a clear answer to that prompt in your thesis statement. I think of these three general rules. It should be clear, it should make a claim, and it should be concise. Don't drag it on and make it too wordy because that's unnecessary and can sometimes be boring. Okay? So I should be able to tell in that paragraph which one your thesis statement is. A topic sentence brings up the general topic of what you're talking about. The thesis statement takes that topic and makes a claim about it. Okay. So you want to avoid burying the thesis statement into your paper. It should be within that first paragraph. Okay. In our general 5-paragraph outline, it's the last sentence in your introduction. And I'll get to that in another short explanation. But let's look at two different thesis statements. All right. So this is the first one. There are serious objections to today's horror movies. So it's making somewhat of a claim that there are these arbitrary objections that people may or may not talk about. And I know that it's dealing with horror movies, but it's not necessarily saying what about the horror movies needs to be objected. And so here, after some thinking, they elaborated a bit more. And it says, because modern cinematic techniques have allowed filmmakers to get more graphic, horror flicks have desensitized young American viewers to violence. Bam. Now, here it brings up this idea that it's because it's graphic. That's why there are objections. And it desensitized American viewers to violence. If you're not sure what desensitize means, kind of means you're not even aware that you should care. Okay. But there are two clear differences in these statements. One is super vague, and that it doesn't give enough. That's more of a topic sentence than a thesis sentence, because a thesis is clear, it makes a claim, and it's more concise. Okay. Man, I lost my train of thought, guys. I'll be honest. We're going to practice making a thesis statement about the liver philosophy. And so I want you to keep these things in mind whenever you have to create yours. So, voila.